Good afternoon, everyone. It's 20 past 4 here on Friday, the 28th of May. The American market is having a reasonable day. The advances just ahead of the declines, and the advice on Vector Est is good. And as you can see, 2 days ago, after the close, the longest measure of the trend on Vector Est changed to up. So all looking good. It's been a very quiet week, and I think I mentioned on Monday or Tuesday that the stock market was fighting at about the 4,200 level, and at the end of the week we're still in the same place, 4,212. So that battle between the bulls and the bears at that particular level still ongoing. I can't see what's going to shift it this afternoon, just ahead of a long weekend. So when it does break, it should break out quite aggressively next week. If we have a quick look at the S&P 500, that's where we are, and if I get rid of all my lines, we're sitting pretty much at a 78% retracement of this move right along these levels. So a break through the move, and the breadth of the market would seem to suggest that, the trend of the market would seem to suggest that a break above 42.20 odd, and we could see a nice new high here. So let's hope that's in front of us next week. So I have a little PowerPoint presentation presented, so I can keep these a little bit shorter. They've started to become far too long. That's the gold market, folks, and the gold market's had a great couple of weeks, as you know. The high at around the 1900 level is exactly 78% retracement of the last range. Nevertheless, this is quite a strong breakout, and it may pull back and kiss here. It could go back a little bit, but nevertheless, technically this is broken out, and apart from a little bit of short-term noise, then I think our gold stocks are going to do exceptionally well. That's polymetal. And polymetal's also broken out from this flag pattern, and you can see on Vector Est there's the valuation up here, there's earnings per share, and an exceptionally good picture. Came off the 62% retracement. You remember how we sweated that out down there. I haven't put on the MACD on here, but the MACD is showing very strong reverse divergence, which is a good sign. So I think that sooner or later this will in fact do exceptionally well. The Vector Est valuation is at 28, it's sitting at 17. That's the GDX, and the GDX textbook pullback off a tight flag pullback to these old tops, and moving up very strongly. So I have a position in that. That's a leverage position for me, and that's going quite nicely. So, and then of course Pan-African Resources is a classic Gartley pattern. If you were doing a book on harmonic patterns, it would have to be in there. It pulled back to 62%. It pulled back to the last old high, and it pulled back in 3 textbook waves: A, B, C, D, and the leg AB and the leg CD was exactly the same, and now it's moving up strongly. As you can see, earnings per share is good. I haven't put the valuation on. The valuation's 32 pence. It's sitting at 21. Also going to close on a high for the week, which is a good sign. Very happy with that indeed. Copper is finishing the week exceptionally strongly. I'm very pleased with these last reaction lows are above the highs here, and that normally means that the trend has still got legs in it. You can see what happened here. These lows didn't get back to the last old high. That's a sign that the trend is still strong, and I would expect that BlackRock World Mining Trust is going to pull out. It's up a little bit today, 5 pence today, but that's a bullish pattern. That's a falling wedge, and if you look at it and maybe you need a little bit of inspiration to see the 5 waves in there, but there would seem to be 5 waves in there, and that normally breaks and breaks upwards. So I'm certainly holding on to all of those. Apps is this 3rd time lucky for me, because I got stopped out of, if I can find my pen, I bought it, I can't remember where, just here I got stopped out at entry, and here I got stopped out for loss. So that's 2 stopped out in a row, and I can't resist this 62% retracement. And this, if we've looked at that in a bit more detail, there is a multiple inside bar, and it broke out of that multiple inside pattern a couple of days ago. So I've taken a small long position in apps. That's also a leverage trade for me. I have a position in Disney. Thrust A, B and C came off, as you would guess with me, the 78% retracement, and already I've got the stop on entry to that. I've already banked a little bit, so that's going well. And the last one is AIG. AIG, there's my 21 and 55 moving averages in the throes of a strong trend, and it made this pretty textbook spring pattern, and couldn't quite get through that high, but in fact has recovered. I thought it was going to break today, but no such luck in a quiet market before a holiday weekend. So those are the positions that I've got. I'm very, very pleased in the UK with discard all my lines. Very pleased in the UK with Games Workshop. Games Workshop has made a brand new whopping high, and this means, folks, that sooner or later all of this resistance will have gone away. In other words, there's nobody up there that's sweating it out. So if we have a look at this from last year, we can see that it's gone sideways. I added to it here, I added to it here, so I've got now 3 times my initial position, and hopefully, at least with a fair breeze behind us, that this bit should repeat, and that would take us quite a bit higher. Earnings per share is good. In the short term, VectorVest believes it's overvalued, so we have to be careful here. But it looks strong to me, and it can certainly go. This is 90 to 118, so that's 28 pounds. 28 pounds plus 118 would be very nice indeed, so very happy with that indeed. I think that SLP gave quite a few people a bit of a heart attack over the week, as it pulled back and pulled up back very strongly. It seemed to, in fact, I don't know what it's done today. I don't look at them intraday, but it went up very strongly yesterday. This candle pattern right at that trend line, there's also a 78% retracement there. That pattern where it actually gaps down and then reverses, that's called, I think, in candlestick parlance, a piercing line. In the old days on the floor of the Merc, they used to call that a gap and snap. And there's a guy out there called Larry Williams, he calls it a noops pattern. So with any luck, we're going to see a strong move up. Let's put some volume on here, and we can see that up move was an unreasonable volume. This wasn't, so we still have to be careful. I don't look at them intraday, and it clipped its VectorVest stop loss just here. It's now back onto a hold. Certainly if it closed down below these lows, then I would have to review that situation very carefully. Remember, capital preservation, folks, is everything. But I'm very pleased with how the UK portfolio was going. Particularly pleased with JD Sports, because I added to it the other day, and I added to it based on this, you've guessed it, Gartley pattern stroke spring pattern. So you can see how the market came back in 3 waves, right to the 62% retracement, right to the last old high, and then it charted this hammer candle, and it's moved up very nicely indeed. So nothing particularly new there, the same stuff, but and this is what I teach in some of the swing trading stuff, and I've been doing the same thing for a very, very, very long time. There's also a trend line in place here, so lots of things coming together at once. We've got a trend line, we've got the old high, we've got the 62, and the confirmation from the candle. I felt that that was a no-brainer, and with any luck it's going to keep on going. Is there a danger? Of course there's danger. It has to be managed, but as I keep saying to people, don't avoid risk, manage it, and the stop losses are there for that reason. Stop losses are useless unless you actually take the stop loss, so just accept the risk. There is risk, just accept the risk, do your best to manage it as best as possible. We haven't got a VectorVest Q&A on Monday afternoon because it's spring bank holiday. So folks, have a great weekend. We had a wonderful day's weather here in London yesterday, but it's raining cats and dogs again this afternoon. But have a really great weekend, and I shall see you all next week, Tuesday, for an update. Back to the US market. US market, not much has changed, and the S&P is up 11 ticks on the day at 4212. Thanks very much indeed. Bye bye.